What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. I'm your boy NarikChase. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at another actress that's taking on the role of a video game character. More specifically, Talisa Soto's performance as Kitana in the Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation films. Now, before I continue on with this video, guys, sorry about the lighting and everything. If you have like epilepsy or anything, don't watch the video because the light is going to be flickering. But having said that, I want to get the best production value and I need lights and see that that's flickering like crazy. But having said that, let's get into the video now. Talisa Soto played and portrayed the first live action version of Kitana in the 1995 Mortal Kombat film and its sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, that came out in '97. Now, Kitana herself, the video game character, debuted in Mortal Kombat 2 in 1993 and was created by Ed Boon and John Tobias. Now, at this time, video games adaptations had started becoming a thing. You got the Street Fighter film, you had the Mario film that came out, and you had other ones that came out as well. So, and this came out in the 90s, so a lot of those adaptations weren't good. But having said that, let's go ahead and take a look at Soto's performance as one of video games' most iconic female characters. Now, in the lore of the Mortal Kombat, Kitana is the princess of Outworld, being the, I guess you could say, stepdaughter of Shao Kahn after his takeover of Outworld and being married to Kitana's mother, Sindel. And just, it's very interesting lore. It was very interesting. And I believe during that time period, despite the fact that some of this was already set up, it wasn't completely fleshed out. So some of the translation between the video game and the movie, it wasn't fully established. So feel like I can't give it some credit for that. But there are some things that are a bit more definitive that didn't make the translation or leak to the film. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Personally, look, Soto in the film is just a beautiful woman. She just is. She's got an exotic look. She's good. She's a very attractive woman. She does not play a good Kitana. She's actually one of the weaker characters, probably the weakest interpretation of any of the characters, at least the main cast, that the film actually showcases, and for a lot of reasons. For some things, one of the major problems that I have is that her role, that is this princess, one of the most important characters in the Mortal Kombat mythology, she does not feel like she has presence within the film. She doesn't feel important. Nothing that she does feels like it actually matters. And yes, she does end up instructing Liu Kang, and it does help him later on in the film. But overall, her being in the film, if you take her out of the film, it would not change the film really in the slightest. It's maybe one less hot looking woman, but outside of that, I feel like she really doesn't contribute much to the film. She doesn't have any real meaningful conversations with most of the cast. Yes, she does have a bit of chemistry with the guy that does play Liu Kang, and I do like seeing them together on screen, but there is no complexity to her character, because initially she's kind of a dick because of her allegiance to Shao Kahn. But that isn't questioned within this. There is no complexity, no pick or pull that you see within the games with the character in the film. Unfortunately, she seems pretty much dead set on betraying Shang Tsung from the start, so there's no back and forth with her character, no battle of allegiances that would make for more compelling moments, especially with Liu Kang's influence on her that generally pulls her from Shao Kahn's and Shang Tsung's influence. So that is another major point, and another bigger point, I believe, because look, a lot of people say the first Mortal Kombat movie is better than the second, and to some extent I will agree, but performances wise, acting wise, it does not carry. She does not she doesn't have any presence. She's not really commanding, and really, aside from her just being a really beautiful woman, ain't trying to take nothing away from her. Just the performance itself just wasn't good. Now I don't know if this is because she of her acting ability and range wasn't there, but ultimately, just I did not feel her as I did not for once. I mean, maybe when I was a kid, yeah, but once you learn more about the lore, I'm like, no, I don't see it. I don't see her as being that character. It's just the performance itself. Maybe it's some of the direction. It just doesn't work. Now, visually, I could say, hey, she's a good-looking woman. She actually looks the role. I would give her that. Not only, she's very in shape. She's a beautiful woman. The outfit itself looks pretty cool, and hell, they introduced the fans in the second one, and as goofy as they do look, and the limited screen time that they get, you know, in actuality, she being visually wise, she looks the role. So I can't take that away from her. But as far as her staying true to the character, I don't think she hit the mark. There's really nothing in the story that supports her being the princess of Outworld outside of moments where somebody refers to her as being the princess of Outworld. So there is that. She really doesn't do much. And Mortal Kombat's all about the fight, so you want to see if everybody could fight. And honestly, her fight sequences are just poor. Almost every single fight sequence, which she only has 2 or 3 actually. There's the fight with Liu Kang, which was really bad. Then there's the fight when Liu Kang was fighting Smoke in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. She's fighting these minions. That one was probably a bit more. She did a bit more, but it wasn't like an actual fight. And there's a fight with her and Sindel at the end of Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Again, not really a good fight. Now, people say, well, in the 90s, the fights weren't good. I don't want to hear that. I just watched the fight with, I forgot that one lady. She's like a white lady, but she was really good in martial arts. She played a lot of martial arts films. And there was a fat martial arts guy. He's fat, but he knows how to fight. And he can move and stuff. Can't remember their freaking name. Just watch the video. And this is like the 80s, I want to say. They were going at it. I'm talking straight going at it. And you're telling me you cannot look at the 80s, see those Asian, Chinese, Japanese fighting films, see how well they flow, how well they're impactful, just the choreography and just how fast paced they are. And then coming to the 90s, playing in a film where you're supposed to be fighting. And that's the same issue I have with the Street Fighter movie. The fights suck for the most part, except for the Vega, Ryu, Ken, and Sagat fight. That's probably the best fight in the entire. In fact, that is the best fight in the entire movie. But that's neither here nor there. In this film, again, she doesn't have really good fights. Most of the other characters do. She does not. All of the fights just freaking suck. I don't like that. And she's supposed to have, be very. In what I've read, she's had, training in athleticism and dance and stuff. So I'm a little bit confused as to why her fight sequences just feel so lackluster and they suck. But honestly, I didn't only, like I said, outside of her connection with the dude that played Liu Kang, I felt like even her story, again, her story doesn't even support the fact that she's this princess. She has a bit of back and forth with Sindel, not much for it to mean really much of anything. She has almost no interaction with Shao Kahn. She has maybe a little scene here, but it's not anything meaningful. Hell, Melina's in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and they don't even talk. So it's just her character just ultimately is just a missed opportunity. And again, nothing against the woman, just the acting wasn't good, and the way the story and direction wasn't good as well in neither one of the films. They both failed her, and she failed the character as well. So I would say that Talisa Soto's portrayal of Kitana is, I'd probably give it, technically I guess you could say this is probably a 1. a 1 out of 5, because it's just, if the movie was bad and she was good in the role, it wouldn't be so bad. But she's not good in the role. She doesn't give us any good fights. She looks good. She looks the role. The performance just wasn't good. The writing wasn't good. And nobody served Kitana did anything good for this girl. Now, the new Mortal Kombat is supposed to be coming out next year, so hopefully that chick does an even better job. But as far as Talisa Soto's performance, I'm sorry, it just didn't hold up. So, guys, in the comment section below, let me know, what are your thoughts? Did you like her performance? Did you not like her performance? Is there something that I skipped over? Is there something I'm missing? And who would you cast for Kitana for Mortal Kombat remake? Yes, they already remaking the sequels coming out, but I'm talking about your personal cast. And somebody that looks like Kitana. Don't sit there and say somebody that doesn't completely look like the character. But anyways, be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the